So I consider myself a semi-pro guitar player, meaning it's not my main source of income, but I don't do it on a very part-time basis, or dare I use the term weekend warrior basis. Maybe that's what they want to classify me as, but I play about 3 to 4 gigs a month, and I'm not playing for chicken wings and beer. I'm demanding, same wage as anyone who would be doing it full time. Point being there, being semi-pro, I play mainly locally, bars and legions. Now, I've done over the years, about over 30 years of playing live. I've done festivals, been in tribute band, done a few trips down to the United States. I've done theater shows, but mainly the last couple of years, it's been back to local bars and legions and veterans clubs. So, what gear do you need? What gear do I need? I'm gonna tell you what gear I use, because up here in Toronto, Canada, it's still averaging, well, for a lot of bands, like around a 4-piece band, we're getting, about $100 Canadian for the gigs still. Okay, and I've been doing this, like I said, since 1992 when I was 17. So now we're in 2025. I'll be turning 51 in this summer. So do the math, right? But at least the last 20 years since I've been, kind of doing like the sideman type of cover band thing, not doing original stuff. Original stuff when I was doing it when I was in the 90s and stuff, you're playing for the door, you're playing for tickets, blah, 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 ticket money, blah, blah, blah. But for that $100, and in some cases I get $150 when I'm playing in a trio. My country trio, we tend to get a little more, but it's easier to get more the less people you have in a band, right? So, anyways, getting back to the gear stuff. Now, what's the gear that I'm using these days? Well, I typically just bring one guitar, and it depends on my mood. Might be a Les Paul night, might be an SG, Strat, Tele. Now I know still there's guys around here that plays bars and they'll bring 2 guitars, which is fine. And maybe I should bring 2 guitars. I used to sometimes bring 2 guitars, but I find the instruments I have are really, they're pretty reliable. I do check them. I'll make sure the strings are good for the gig. I don't put fresh strings on for every gig because I think that's a waste of money. But if the strings are, obviously showing signs of, fatigue and being old and not holding their tune, and of course I'll change them. But I usually just bring one trusty guitar to the gig. My theory is, well, for this $100, how much stuff do I need to bring to do the job? And why should I bring like my whole arsenal? Should I bring all the gear I have in my house? The bass player is only bringing one bass. The drummer, is he bringing an extra kick drum pedal and an extra snare? I'm sure some do. The ones I play with don't. So what happens if their stuff breaks down? Are we going to be out for, no snare, no kick drum? We're going to have no bass because they only brought one bass. So, that's my logic. But again, if I didn't feel the guitars were reliable, then I would bring maybe 2, But again, I make sure the strings are good and the guitar is functioning, meaning the pickup selector is great. No static, nothing cutting out. And of course, something can happen at a gig, but, that's up to you to decide. Do I need to bring 2 guitars? What if both of those fail? Should you bring 3? Should you bring 4? Where does it end? So that's the choice that you're going to make. But I bring one guitar. Bring one amp. Now I'm kind of back to real pedals, real pedals, like mostly analog pedals. I'll have a digital delay maybe in the board or whatnot, but a pedal board and an amp. And I'm using my Koch Studio Tone 20. So it's a nice, 35-pound combo. It has a recording output, which has a cab sim in it so that I could feed a signal to the PA if I need to. I could even do this if I was doing a theater show. I could send that to the front of house mixing desk, same thing, and have a simulated thing there, which kind of gives the idea of like what a digital modeler would do with an amp sim feed going to a front of house. But anyways, that's what I'm using for the most part. And the other things I bring, is, pedal board, cable string. I have it actually in a Gator case here. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is my big Gator case. This fits like a Line 6 Helix. When I had my Helix floor, or Helix LT, it did. So I'm going to open up the case. Now, it's kind of hard to see let's see if I can get you a shot here of what I have currently here. Okay, so that empty space up here, that's where my pedal board would go. And I'm using like a Pedal Train Nano 14-inch, so it's like about 4 or 5 pedals fits there. I have a Furman power bar because this helps with like power surges and noise. It helps in certain venues. You can't help you can't do anything about the certain the wiring in venues and ground loops and stuff. But this helps cut down the noise. Got some cables here. It's hard to see here, but this contraption is a guitar stand. It's a butterfly guitar stand from the people at X-Vive that gave me that. That's great. And what I can also put in there is I bought off Amazon a collapsible mic stand that will actually fit in here for the times where I do need to bring a mic stand. And other things I would bring would, of course, would be an SM58 mic. If I'm doing any vocals, mic cable, I usually bring about 3 guitar patch cables. So like I said, pedal board. I'm bringing, as in case my amp fails, right now it's going to be the Walrus Audio ACS1. Okay, so this is basically like you can get a Vox, a Marshall, or a clean Fender Deluxe Reverb amp. And so if my amp crapped out, I could run this through the PA, and I'd have to rely on monitors instead of having my amp as my onstage monitor. I'd have to go with PA monitors, but this could save the day, and I could run my pedal board into this, and this fits. It's the size of like a standard guitar pedal. So, and it wasn't expensive. Got it used for like $250 off of on Reverb. So that's the backup system, and then the other things I'd bring, which I will open up here. Pack of strings, of course. I just bring 1 pack because I'm just doing a bar gig, like 10 minutes away from my house. But I always bring, and even if the strings are relatively fresh, I bring a pack of strings. And then I have my little bag of stuff here, which that basically has picks. Has my slide. I have a capo in here. And then I have my wire cutters. And then I have my little string winder thing here. Okay, so this is a Groove Tech from a Groove Tech kit. That's really it. So that's all the stuff I bring. 1 guitar, 1 amp, about 3 patch cables, a pedal board, obviously the power supply for the pedal board. I've got a digital, the Walrus Audio. That's my backup. So a digital pedal for backup amp. And then my little accessories, pick strings, obviously guitar strap, and then it's all in 1 case here, right? So I'm going to put this back. And what that allows me to do is guitar strapped on the back, amp 1 hand, Gator case with everything else in the other hand. And if I need any to bring a few other things, I have the gig bag pocket. So it's 1 trip from the car. Covers what I need. And I think that's more than enough stuff to bring for playing a local $100 bar gig. Okay, like, what else do you need? I'm not playing Carnegie Hall, Massey Hall up here in Toronto, to give an equivalent. I'm not playing those kind of venues. And now if I was doing a theater show, I would definitely bring 2 guitars. I would still bring all this stuff. Maybe have a couple more packs of strings, a couple more cables. Not much else. And maybe 3 guitars, depending on if I need an acoustic or something like that. But that would be it, really. And yeah, I don't think I would even bring 2 amps. But that's what I bring. Okay. And I think that's all you need. I think that's more than enough stuff to cover your local bar gigs. Like, what more do they want from you, right? you're there, you're entertaining, you've brought your tools for the trade. You know, if you feel like, more so for focusing on the guitar, if you feel that you might have a problem with the guitar and you're going to have two, maybe check the guitar. That's just my advice, right? I think you should be confident walking in with just bringing one guitar. A string breakage, that can happen, even if you just change the strings. Maybe one of them was faulty. You can't really be crapped on for that, okay? That can happen. So pause, change the string, get on with your gig. But to bring two guitars because you're not sure, oh, maybe something's not sounding right, then don't bring that guitar that's not sounding right, is my advice. If you want to bring two guitars just for different tones, tastes, textures, absolutely. You know, and there are nights where it's like, yeah, you know what, I kind of want to bring a Strat and Les Paul just because I want to use a Strat on certain songs. But again, I'm not playing a big concert show where, you know, I have a roadie handing me guitars for different songs, right? So it's kind of, I got to be a little more practical. I mean, there's that wish list of tones, and it's not a big stretch by any imagination. You know, bring those two different guitars if that's what you're going to use them for. But for me, yeah, that's, if I'm bringing two guitars, it's because of two different tonal palettes. I'm not bringing two guitars because I'm worried about one of them, you know, messing up or being faulty. If that's the case, then I wouldn't bring that guitar in the first place. Anyways, guys, that is my gig. I don't know, call it gig essentials or whatever you want to call it, right? That's my gig rig for what I'm doing these days. All right, guys. So thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Catch you in the next video, and check out this one.